Chapter 19 Essay Writing Learning Time Evils of Deforestation. The most important element of nature is forest. It is important to keep the various components of nature in full harmony to maintain a balance in the environment. A factor that is becoming increasingly realized these days. Population pressure, growth, and the culture of increased consumption and pushing the human race towards industrialization and industrial progress has not led to an excessive exploitation of nature and alienation of human beings, but left men with no other alternative but to join the rat race into industrial and consumption centuries, that is, cities. It is important to realize that the human pressure on forests has increased so much that forests have disappeared near human settlements. Industrial raw materials come from the rural hinterland. Consumer does not have the real picture of a rural hinterland. He takes on the role of an exploiter along with the raw material consuming industries with no sensitivity towards the survival of the real resources and hence makes a totally unrestrained use of it. In the race to obtain raw material, the earth and its protective elements like forest and vegetation are being exploited. This led to acute shortage of firewood, fodder, wood and raw material for village industries, all affecting the rural people. There are also the prospects of climatic changes, troubled ecosystem, soil erosion and air pollution. Ideally, 1/3 of the total area of any country should be under forest in India. 19.5% of the total geographical area is under actual forest cover, and even existing forest area is declining rapidly because of the growing demands. Not only are our forests logged, forest land is also used for various development projects like dams, industries, roads and agricultures. The government's forest conservation policy allows the export of forest produce besides sales in domestic urban areas. The other people living in forest who would customarily meet their firewood, building wood, fodder and other needs from forest and deprived of them. Trees that would suit the needs of particular villagers should be chosen for afforestation programs. This will ensure participation in the people in forest conservation project in a practical way. Forest progress work will have to be undertaken according to the wishes and aspirations of the people at the village level and in which their active and responsible participation is sought. We cut forests in the cause of progress and pride ourselves in high-yielding seed varieties that bring a green revolution. A dozen rainy seasons can wash off 1 inch of topsoil on deforested land. This is 1 inch took 1,000 years to make in the course of nature. There is the loss of property, crops and cattle owing to floods. Present day, the effects of deforestation on the ecological balance are not restricted to a particular country. It is a worldwide problem and it can be solved only with the participation of the common man. My aim. Like any other individual, I have an aim in life too. I employ energy and labor to achieve the aim. Different people have different aims in life. Some aims at wealth, some at power, some at fame, some at business, and some at education and knowledge. My aim is neither wealth nor fame. I wish to serve my country with best of my talent. I love India and I really believe that everybody should think to make it a really great country. I want to become a doctor. It is a noble profession. In medical line, there is such more scope of service. One serve the patients everywhere in the medical line. There is much more scope of service. One serve the patients everywhere in the country. This is my personal choice. My parents have not compelled me to select it. I wish to become a very successful doctor in future. So I am studying hard to achieve my target. I have keen interest in medical line, so I do not feel any trouble in studying at all. After obtaining the medical degree, I plan to work in rural areas where there is much shortage of doctors. I will go to the rural areas and shall help the poor people. I would be best sort of service. This will give me extreme satisfaction and that is the aim of my life. I know my profession is very dignified and it will help me to get peace and satisfaction in life. It provides you best chance of service. Sympathy to human being is the sympathy to own self. In future, I would like to open a small hospital too. It will be a charitable hospital. Poor and needy patients will be to me. She is the source of all my inspiration. Poor and needy patients will be treated free of ICST there. I would like to dedicate the hospital to my mother, who is guardian angel to me. She is the source of all my inspiration. To fulfill my aim, I study hard. I am determined to achieve my success. I know my hard work and iron-like determination can make me successful to achieve my goal. An ideal student. Who is an ideal student? Some may think that an ideal student should be brilliant in his studies and always stand at the top of the successful student, but it is a wrong thinking. He should be well in his studies and his scores should be well above 50%, but he need not be brilliant. Brilliant students are often regard themselves as superior beings. Sometimes a brilliant student may be a bookworm, but an ideal student is hardworking, polite and gentle. He is intelligent and practical and never neglects studies or other activities of the school. An ideal student is every cheerful, positive, optimistic, cooperative, disciplined and laborious. He is obedient and respectful. He pays proper respect to teachers, elders and his senior students. He is punctual, regular and cooperative and helps other students as best as he can. He spends some of his spare time in the library reading books, magazines and newspaper, but is never a bookworm. At the same time, he takes active part in games and sports and co-curricular activities. He never neglects his body nor studies. He pays particular attention to the proper and all-around development of his personality. He takes special care to have good morale, character and courage. He is friendly, kind and cooperative and liked by his friends and teachers. He is always active, smart, well-dressed, good-mannered and humble. His manners are acceptable, courteous and natural. Wherever he goes, he spreads good cheer, warmth and friendliness. He aims at all-round development of his growing personality. He loves studies as much as games and sports. He takes daily some physical exercise to keep his body fit and trim. He believes in the saying that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Moderation and balance is the hallmark of an ideal student's life. An ideal student is well aware of his duties and responsibilities as a student. He knows how much he owes to his parents, teachers and the society. He takes the full advantage of the opportunities offered. He uses his time wisely and in a planned way and believes that time is money. He knows that students are the future citizens, leaders, parents and scientists. This sense makes devote all his energies into developing himself a meaningful and useful citizen of the country. He is always proud of his country, its history, culture and heritage. Let me answer. Do you feel it's easy to write an essay?